Hey, what's going on, Game Leapers? This is Coach Jigs in today's video. Patch 13.17, bro. The changes have been released, and there are probably like 10 to 20 champions getting changed, so we're going to get into them, guys, in this video. Make sure you stick around for the whole thing to know what the changes are going to be, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section, what you think as some of these buffs are nerfs. But some of these buffs are nerfs. Yes, they might give you a few more wins if you play these champions right, but what's more important, guys, is actually playing these champions at the highest level. Yes, so many players, if you're playing a champion, you are missing out on fundamental micro that is stopping you from getting easy kills and punishing your opponents. So to know how to play your champions at the highest level, all you have to do is go on the GameLeap.com website, and you won't have to worry if the champion gets nerfed because you will play them at a challenger level regardless. That is the key to playing these champions. So that is one click away. Challenge and knowledge about micro, and of course we have all the videos on macro. So everything is right there for you. All you have to do is sign up to get exclusive access to our library of content. So let's start with champion buffs, and let's start with Elise. So your auto attack damage from your passive in your spider form is going up the base of this by 2. It is still scaling off the same AP. Also, the healing from this is also going up the base value up by 2 as well. This is going to help obviously with your clear and of course your early game skirmishing when you're in your spider form auto attacking, especially when you have your W going as well. Also, what Riot have done, they have rewarded you Elise players who land your cocoon. So the cocoon duration is actually increasing at later ranks here. This might encourage you guys to actually max your cocoon second now. So this is a nice buff, and does mean if you know how to play Elise and time your cocoons and get good ease out, this will benefit you more. Now moving on to Gnar. So your Mega Q's base damage, so Mega Gnar, your Q's damage here, is going up by a big 20. This is big, especially in the early game, and this really is a buff to your laning phase, right, when you get your Mega off. Also, your W's base damage on your Mega, the stun, where you throw it out in front of you on the ground like a rectangle type thing, this is going up by 10 as well. These are really nice buffs to Gnar. Like in the early game, it's all about getting your Trinity Force right in your laning phase. Unless you're counter-picking Gnar against maybe like something like an Ornn or maybe something like a Cassante, right? These champions do struggle with this champion because he's very hard to get onto. But the problem is, like Gnar, until he gets to Trinity Force, it is a little bit of an effort. So this gives him that extra oomph in the early stages of a game. Now moving into the mid lane, we have Lux, who's getting buffed specifically for mid lane. So your mana regen, even though this is going down, you're getting more damage from your passive. So you're getting more reward for auto attacking, not only minions of course, this will be easier to last hit them, but also enemy champions. This is scaling off more of your AP. I think this is a nice change. Lux players who really space the enemy champions well and can auto attack them as part of their combos, they're going to froth this. Then we have your Q cooldown, which is going from 11 seconds flat to a scaling 11 seconds all the way down to 9 seconds. So obviously at rank 5, this is going to be only 9 seconds. And by that point, you will have ability haste, so it will be even lower. This is very, very nice. But then we do have a little nerf here, so your ease damage is going down. Because I think if they kept it how it is, with the passive increase, you would be way too OP. So maybe this is kind of like a compensation nerf just to make sure she's not Giga OP. But Lux mains, let me know in the comment section what you think of this. It doesn't even sound that bad, by the way, for support Lux. You could even think of maybe maxing your Q first because it's only going to be 9 seconds. And yeah, rushing something like Lucidity Boots, this could actually be really good. Now staying in the mid lane, we have Orianna. Your health growth is going up from 105 to 110, and also your W's damage is increasing once again, and this is going up quite a lot. This is scaling from 10 extra damage from rank 1 all the way to an extra 30 damage at rank 5. This is going to be really important for landing those W's, and I think what Riot are trying to do is bring Orianna back in the mid lane because she's such a good kind of like team fighting champion, I guess. That's probably what they want to see at Worlds, so maybe they've even done that for Lux as well. Now moving to the bot lane here, and again, maybe they want to see this champion at Worlds, this being Samira. Now I know lots of people hate it when they see Samira getting buffed. All it is her base HP is going up to 630. This does make her early game a bit more durable, right? And scarier, of course, if she is full HP at level 3. That's really what you want to be trying to achieve on this champion, so this should mean less deaths and potentially more kills as well. Now staying in the mid lane, again, going on that theme of just like team fighting, and obviously Riot have Worlds in mind, Twisted Fate is getting buffed here, so your Q's AP ratio, this is going up by another 10%. So this means the more AP you get throughout a game, your Q is going to be dealing more damage, whether it's even like poke in the late game with your blue buff, whether it's wave clear right in the late game and split pushing. It's just a general nice buff for TF, especially if you're going like full damage with like Ludens, and then you can go Sorceress Shoes. There's a Chinese TF who does this, so that could be really beneficial for that build. Now moving to the top lane here, potentially the biggest buff of the patch is to Tryndamere. I know, pretty weird, right? I don't even think he was on the notes, and this is to his attack range, going up by almost 50%, from 125 to 175. What does this mean? Well, he can just space better now. This could be game breaking. This is going to mean he can take less damage and deal more damage because he can auto attack from further away. And of course, CSing will be easier. I just think this is an unreal buff for this champ. Now moving back to the mid lane here, the last two champions to talk about, they both reside in the middle of the rift. The first one is Vex. Why is she getting buffed? I've got no idea, man. Like, she's already in a good position, bro. So I don't know why she's getting buffed. And listen to these buffs. Your Q's base damage is going up by 10. That's right, by 10. This is for an ability at level 9, rank 5 points in it. It is on a 4-second cooldown. The damage on that is going up by another 10. This is cracked. Your W's cooldown as well is going down by 4 seconds at rank 1. So when you have this at level 3, definitely, this is only going to be on a 16-second cooldown now. And then we also have a quality of life change here where your ultimate, when you ping this, it also mentions enemies that are in range of it. Now, the final champion getting buffed, guys, this is Zoe. So your HP regen is going up, so more sustained during the laning phase, right? Your sleep duration as well is increasing by 1/4 of a second, so those champions are now going to be asleep for 2.5 seconds. This is huge. And then we have your E's magic resistance reduction. It's going to reduce their magic resistance to the target that is asleep by 30% flat now. This did scale up to 30%, but now landing in E, even in the early game, for champions with sorcerer issues, like you might have an Elise jungle, you might even have sorcerer issues yourself, but you are going to shred them. Zoe also does very well into those control mages I mentioned, so whether it's like Orianna, Twisted Fate, Lux might be a little bit more difficult, but Zoe counters a lot of champions that you're probably going to see at Worlds, so I'm guessing Riot want to put her in there because, yeah, they enjoy seeing her on the world stage as well. Now, champion nerfs, moving on. Let me know what you think about the buffs as well, guys. But champion nerfs, let's start with Kayn. Your W's AD ratio here is going down from 1.3 to 1.1. This is big. This means obviously if you're building attack damage, so blue Kayn in particular, this is a pretty big hit to you. It's kind of obnoxious as well playing against a Kayn who's in terrain, throwing W's out, dealing half your HP bar. So I think this is actually pretty healthy. It'll still be Kayn as well. I don't think it's like too significant. Now moving on, we have Kha'Zix. Just like Kayn, your AD ratio, but not in your W, in your Q this time, is going down by 0.05. This doesn't seem too severe. Like Kha'Zix, once again, is still going to be Kha'Zix. I think these are good changes, right? You don't just want to like hard nerf a champion. Yes, Kha'Zix does do very well, but little by little, you can balance them out rather than going for a big haymaker and then having to like revert those changes. So those are the changes to Kha'Zix, your Q's damage going down. Then we have Kindred, who is finally getting nerfed, but to be honest, guys, I don't think if Kindred really needs like specific nerfs, it's really Trinity Force that's making us super broken. And guess what? Trinity Force is not even here. So Kindred is copping nerfs. And when they do eventually nerf Trinity Force, especially for ranged champions, she's going to be even worse. But anyway, your E slow is going down to 30%. This has almost been cut in half. Also, the missing HP damage you deal based on their HP, this is going down in your E as well, based off how many marks you have. These are pretty big hits for Kindred. You're going to get less kills because of this, but once again, like probably when you get to Trinity Force, you're probably going to be fine still. Next up, we have Neferi. Your base HP, and there are lots here, so your base HP going down. Your passive cooldown is going up. Your packmates are now taking more damage from champion melee attacks. Also, the heal in your Q2, this is going down. The minimum damage in your Q2, this is going down. The maximum damage in your Q, this is going down. All of these, by the way, are still scaling off the same bonus attack damage, but the base damages are all down there. And also we have your E's first hit ratio going down based off bonus attack damage. And the second hit, exactly the same. This is going down as well. Is this champion gutted? Most likely. That's what lots of people are saying here. So Neferi means if you are out there trying to elo inflate, let me know if you think you can still inflate your elo in 13-17 if these changes go through. Last up, guys, we have Xerath support getting nerfed. Your base mana regen is going down. And then we also have your W's mana cost going up by 10 as well. This obviously means more just using this off cooldown. You've got to be a bit more selective. What they've also done here is try to encourage Xerath mid lane again by buffing your passive. So the cooldown restore, when you kill a minion, this is going up by another half a second. This is really nice because in the bot lane, you're not killing minions, right? You're AD carriers. So in the mid lane, again, it's trying to push Xerath into the mid lane. So I actually think this is quite nice. It's just the base mana regen does affect mid lane as well, but less so because you're using the passive. Moving on to champion adjustments here, there are quite a lot of here too. First of all, we have Aatrox. Your passive and W now deal magic damage. This basically means, it looks a bit weird, but this basically means if you're going lethality Aatrox, this is worse off because obviously through your passive and your W, they will not be using any lethality now, right? It's just pure magic damage. The build as well was a little bit too broken, I guess. But anyway, that's the Aatrox change. I mean, they are kind of nerfs, to be honest. But yeah, moving on, we have Akshan. Your health growth is getting increased. Your armor growth is getting increased, but your attack damage growth is going down. So health and armor makes you obviously harder to kill. Attack damage going down makes it harder for the enemy champions to kill. These do look like kind of overall adjustments rather than just straight up buffing or nerfing the champion. Then we have Blitzcrank, guys, who's getting a lot of changes. So your health is going up, your magic resistance is going up, your base attack speed though is going down, and your attack speed ratio is going down as well. So if you're playing, I don't know, like Blitzcrank top lane or jungle, I guess Blitzcrank is just like purely a support now. Also, your passive shield is going to be a flat 30%. This is actually a buff in the early game until a certain point. We also have your W's mana cost. That's going down, which is quite nice, but your attack speed from your W is going down here. So once again, nerfing kind of lane or jungle Blitzcrank if anyone is playing that. Also, your W is no longer granting bonus magic damage on hit, but what they are doing is kind of buffing your E here. So your E's mana cost is going down, almost cut in half. Your E's AD ratio is going up as well. Not sure how you're going to make use of this, but it's there. But they have removed here bonus damage from your E against minions and monsters. I guess they just really don't like Blitzcrank jungle, and one of those silver rioters played against it and got crushed. And the final change for Blitzcrank is your passive now deals an additional 2% max mana damage. Wow, so maybe like mid lane Blitzcrank, you know, just playing around your abilities will be a thing, but still, this might be useful for support if you can make it work. So those are the Blitzcrank adjustments. Now moving into the jungle, we have Hecarim, and these aren't adjustments, these are nerfs. So your mana, you're getting a little bit more base, but the actual mana growth, this is going down. The mana regen as well, this is going up, but because you're getting less overall, this is really a big nerf to your mana Moon Hecarim build. Your Q's cost though is going down in terms of the mana, right? And the W cost as well is going down at later ranks. But this doesn't matter again because you're running out of the blue stuff a lot quicker. Also here, your W's Omnivamp is going to be a flat 20% now, but there's going to be no bonus AD scaling here. So if you're going like Mirror Mana Hecarim, right, with, I don't know, like Shojin and other items like even Dustblade, right, this is going to be worse off, and you're probably just better off playing full Bruiser Hecarim. Now moving to the top lane, we have Quinn. I don't really know why Quinn is getting nerfed. Yes, she is really annoying to play against, but that's her like niche, right? Like that's what you're picking Quinn for, to counter people who are blind picking Renekton and Riven and stuff. So your health growth, even though this is going up, you're losing damage on your Q at later levels and also on your E at later levels as well. I also think the nerfs to her W's attack speed really hurt her, and I don't think Quinn should even really be picked as a counter anymore. You can probably pick something else into those champions I mentioned, Renekton, Riven, and lots of other melee top laners. Now moving into the jungle here, guys, two champions to finish on. We have Vi, so your passive shield. This is getting increased based off your max HP. They are encouraging you to go more Bruiser here and less lethality, I guess, so Hella Blaze Vi. Also here, your passive cooldown refund is going up to 4 seconds. This is going down at early levels, and your ultimate damage is scaling less of bonus attack damage here. Once again, they don't really think this is healthy for the game, going lethality, full damage Vi. So again, they're trying to encourage you to go Bruiser, Conqueror Vi. Last up, guys, we have Xin Zhao. The passive heal is now going to scale off your max HP. It's not going to do anything based off your total attack damage. So once again, Vi and Xin Zhao, who are champions who can go like Halo Blaze lethality, these are the nerfs coming into these champions. So those were the changes, guys, for 13-17 to the champions. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I'll see you in our next Season 13 upload. This has been Coach Cheeks. Peace.